Michael 7 Michael. We've got Charles, and we've also got Drew. East Coast and the West Coast, all talking about everything sci-fi fantasy. How you guys doing today?
I'm wondering right now, is this going to be like a squeak fest, or is this going to be me and Charles fighting? I really don't know.
I don't think we're going to fight. We might disagree to agree on certain things.
Maybe, but yeah. I know for a fact that I'm coming in as a straight up fan. I'm sipping the juice. I'm one with the clan. I'm part of the crew. I'm inaugurated into the cult. Okay, Spider-Man Homecoming, definitely number 2 on my favorite Spider-Man movie of all time, just shy of Spider-Man 2. This one...
I can agree with that.
I feel like this iteration of Spider-Man, remember we were all kind of like, dude, he's a baby face. Come on, they're putting him back in high school. If nothing else, they made this iteration of him being in high school really fun because he's this, I'm sitting in the theater, I'm watching him do his thing, Tom Holland, right? The kid's having a blast with this character. And I'm getting like flashbacks of Naruto season 1, for those of you guys if you're into anime or whatever. I'm getting flashbacks of Naruto season 1 where you got your kid, he's hyperactive. He's about that life. He's giving everybody the Muhammad Ali speech. I will be the greatest, Date Bayo. And it's like he's going. And as you're watching him do his thing or try to do his thing as a superhero, you see him make mistakes. I saw so many attempts at the classic Spider-Man moves that he was doing throughout the movie that he would just not quite land or he messed up. It was just like a great starting point for this character. And the kid is so damn likable. It was it was great. It was great for me. It was great.
I thought, honestly, it was probably one of the best casts. Only cast thing I didn't really like, I didn't like the guy that casted for Flash Thompson. Really wasn't feeling that one.
Oh, the one. I actually liked Flash Thompson. You want to know why? Because everybody thought that he was going to be just some jock douchebag guy like how we saw in the other ones. I like that this one they switched it up. He's a bully, but he's like a mental, verbal kind of bully, because that's a thing.
Yeah, he wasn't the physical type.
He's not he didn't walk up and shove, give Peter a wedgie or any of that lame stuff. Yeah. It was just like he was more trying to get into Pete's head by calling him Penis Parker and getting the others to rally against him. So I kind of like that iteration of Flash.
Okay, now here,
what do you think about making him a DJ at the party? What do you thought about that?
What was that? Go first, Charles.
The fact that they made Flash a DJ at the party.
Oh, they did. Yeah, he was.
Because all was cool. Yeah, that made perfect sense.
It was like an upgrade. That would be the kid of today.
Flash.
Yeah, he's straight up like the millennial. I'm just there's this stigma that you get a turntable and you become a DJ and you're just all of a sudden a douche. Right. He's that archetype. Straight up DJ Kid Flash. You guys check that nod that they made, kind of the DC kind of story with giving his DJ alias Kid Flash, and he had the yellow jacket, but he had the red shirt. I was like, oh, shots fired.
He did.
I thought it was great, man. This was definitely a millennial Spider-Man. I mean, the kid was taking selfies and filming himself. He's doing everything that for a fact most kids, if not all, now would do. And I know for a fact, if I'd been his age, that's totally what I would do. Jump roping with the web, hanging upside down. How far can I shoot this web? Ned's whole monologue thing, asking him 8 million questions about his Spider-Man powers, all relevant questions for a high school nerd when you're a kid.
I do have a couple things.
Go.
I dug Michael Keaton as the Vulture. I just loved how he was just a normal, hardworking guy, and he just got screwed over. And you just see the change, just what? That was nice.
Yeah. He was a dope villain, although I feel like I should save this for a little later because this has to do more with the ending. Mm-hmm. But Michael Keaton's performance was dope. He could be menacing. The plot twist, which not to pat myself too hard on the back, but I called in minute 1 when I saw, what was her freaking name? Liz's ass. The whole time I'm sitting in the chair, I'm like, I don't like this girl. She's just some spoiled, vacant, doe-eyed Mary Sue. They're sitting around the gym, right? The scene where I had to call it, I'm like, they're sitting around the gym, they're doing their thing, and the girls are sitting up there, on the bleachers talking about what Spider-Man looks like underneath the suit. Her girlfriend, what if he's all burned? And then Liz's ass, doesn't matter. It's what's on the inside. And I'm sitting there, I'm just like, yeah, because that's really something you give a crap about, Liz. Okay, sure. And I'm just like, she's too girl next door, and I'm like, something's wrong. We're gonna find out something messed up about this chick. We have to.
Yeah.
Lo and behold, Act 2. We haven't met her dad yet. Boom! Adrian Toombs opens the damn door.
I was like, what? Yeah, that was cool. That was actually pretty cool, though. I did like that. And you know what he said, when that girl said, this is what I think anyway, when the girl said maybe his face is all burned, I think that was a shout out to Spawn. Not Spawn. No, not Spawn. What's the other one? Deadpool.
Deadpool? Might have been. They do, people make those jokes all the time in the comic books. But it's like I called it. The whole time I'm sitting there, I'm just like, why do I hate this girl? She's technically done nothing wrong, but I just hate her. And then I'm like, I know what you guys are thinking, well, that's just you being you, Drew. But I'm like, no, that's what I thought too. But then I'm like, no, because I love Michelle, her little surly, cynical, grouchy ass. She's great.
Straight up grouch, man.
But that twist, man, made for such a great scene. The whole Tom Holland's face, the kid's face, he was just like pale white.
Yeah, that was awesome. His face, his whole demeanor just went.
Whole demeanor was just. They took the great part. This by far is like the funniest Spider-Man movie ever made. But it's like they're sitting there taking the pictures. Girl's sitting right here. She's looking at him, right, making the smile, and he's looking at the dad right here, like. It was so good, so good.
That was good. Now, this is probably where we're going to disagree.
Okay.
The biggest problem that I had with the movie is two things. One, you can see different studios made the movie, I believe, anyway, because some of the moves are very. Yeah, some of the moves are very jerky. It wasn't. Spider-Man wasn't as smooth as he was in Civil War. If you could see the movements when he was flipping around and stuff, it was a little jerky. Mm-hmm. And I did not care for the suit that Tony made. I thought the suit was overkill in a sense. I liked him when he was in his raggedy suit.
So you mean okay? All right. I'm actually glad you brought that up because I think this is one of the Easter eggs that I was able to catch that a lot of people haven't yet. So the armored suit, you're talking about the one that comes at the end when Tony basically...
Not even the armored one. The one he had on most of the time when it said, you got 571...
576. I think that was the point. See, I think you weren't supposed to like that because at bare bones, as a Spider-Man fan, I know you're all about your Spider-Man. He's like he's your main dude.
Yeah, man.
To have 516 some odd settings on your suit, I'm like, that's overkill. They even say, I'm like, that's overkill. And then when he has a little raggedy throwback suit, which was, I think, a call-out to the Scarlet Spider because it had the hoodie.
It did have the hoodie. Yeah,
I thought I
liked him in the bare bones. Mm-hmm. The just depend on your skill and get it done. I didn't like the whole combat mode and all that. I thought that was, and then the suit talk. It was like I said, it was like basically Iron Man suit. Yeah, it was just like an Iron Man suit.
Yeah, I think that was the point though, Charles. I think that was what they were aiming for. You're not supposed to like Karen.
I didn't like Karen.
With their instant kill move.
If it goes back, remember Tony did make the Iron Spider suit. Now, is he using Peter for a benchmark to basically see what he can do and monitor everything and then take and make another armor? I don't know, but
my thing is this: good, sweet transition from Spider-Man to Tony Stark because my gripe with the movie, or one of my major gripes with the movie, Tony Stark is a problem in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. He acts equally as a villain as he does a hero, and his arrogance in this movie, I feel him and Happy were just dicks throughout this entire movie, if you notice, right?
So Happy was
like the kid out. How do you
put a bad babysitter?
They're just Hogan's treating him like crap, and I'm like, you guys put this kid out there who's like willing to put in the work, and you're just ignoring him and relegating him to just basically your little street sweeper, and then at the climax, Charles, you should have been frothing at the mouth over this crap. Tony Stark packs a plane chock full of advanced tech, prototype, Avengers stuff. He's got Chitauri tech. He's got apparently a prototype shield for Captain America, Thor's magical belt, whatever the hell it was called with the M. And I'm like, you didn't have any security there? You just put it on an automated ship. That much gear.
I did. I said, well, I wasn't, I totally saw that.
The arrogance. Like, bruh, send Vision. Make sure that no security whatsoever, huh?
Nothing.
Just let it. I'm Tony Stark. It's gonna. Nobody even needs to be on the plane. A perfect mark for someone to steal some stuff. Really?
Yep.
Come on, man. Stop.
So that was kind of weird. And this is another dude. I'm gonna tell you why this irked me probably. This is up there with the suit. This irked me bad. because I have the book. I was going to pull it up. I'm going to save this for another show.
Okay.
I have a book, a Marvel encyclopedia that shows how the web shooters work. There is no way that Ned, is that his name? Ned? Yeah, his friend could use that web shooter.
Okay.
It takes
I know what
so
you,
many,
I know what you mean. I know
yeah,
exactly.
it takes so many pounds of pressure to use that thing. I think even in the book that I had, it's
It's
like for one of us to try to use it, you'd have to smack that thing with a sledgehammer to even get the, because that's how he uses it with,
That's how he uses it.
Yeah.
That's how he makes sure that, all right, that serves a couple functions in the comics. One, it makes sure that if someone were to take his thing, they'd need to at least have super strength in order to activate it or like to push it down, right?
Yeah.
And then the other one was because so he didn't accidentally shoot it when he was trying to do something else, or when he's like climbing walls or something like that. It takes the right amount of pressure to make it function. That's fine, I think, in this one, because one, it's a year one story. The kid's still getting used to how all of his tech and stuff works. I love the scene where he's in school and he's making the webbing in chemistry class. And I'm like, yeah, he's like very much shoestring budget Spider-Man right now. He has the dope suit, which has like its own functions and stuff, but that's technological. When it comes to the webbing, all that stuff was homemade, right? So he has it, including the web shooter thing, which he still uses, right? So when Ned comes in and he's dicking around with it and he starts shooting it off, it's because he hasn't sat up there and quite worked out how it function yet. Same thing with the suit, right? Before he got the suit, it wasn't a spider sense. It was just how he described it as I see like everything kind of like all at once. Right. And using the goggles, that focuses him. That's the spider sense. So it's the same thing, but they've tweaked it in such a way where I feel like it worked a little bit better for the films, you know? So I actually kind of dug that. I thought that was dope that they left that in.
With what, the web?
The webbing, how the webbing worked, and like the fact that he had to revert back to that. Remember how you were saying you should have just been bare bones Spider-Man?
Yeah, I like how he went back to it, man.
The entire,
It just, to me, that makes Spider-Man. He's going to have to cut his teeth some kind of way. And I didn't want it to get in a film where everyone, oh man, he's dependent on, it was the suit. Nah, it wasn't the suit, it's him. You know what I mean?
That was his whole arc, though. So I'm like, I can't be mad at that because he has the suit at the beginning. His proving grounds is when Tony takes it away and he's literally back to just the Scarlet Spider bootleg goggles outfit. And that's how he fights Vulture in the end. Which segues to probably my second biggest gripe with the movie. Again, supervillains. They'll have the hero against the wall and basically they're at the cusp of death. Vulture's holding Spider-Man up in the air. He's basically like KO'd, right? He tells him, I'm going to kill you. Before that, earlier on, right before Homecoming, he drops him. And I'm like, why did you do that? He was right there. He was down. You could have killed him. What does he do? He goes for the bombs or whatever the tech was that he was trying to steal from Tony Stark. Why did you do that? You set yourself up for your own fail. And then when his suit malfunctions, what does he do? And Spider-Man's like, bro, your suit's about to blow up. He's either he didn't hear him or he just ignored him. And then his wings blew up. And I'm like, what? You threw the match. You threw that fight, dude. You had him dead to rights. Like he was right there. You could have killed him. Then let me fly off and explode really quick. It made zero sense.
Yeah, some stuff was like that stuff like inconsistent. Overall, like I said, again, the suit was my problem. I just like that overtext suit was driving me freaking crazy. Cast was phenomenal. Like I said, Michael Keaton, Tom Holland.
So many faces I recognize in this. It was how I described it that night when I came out of the theater. It was Spider-Man, right? Mixed with like the ADD millennial Scott Pilgrim humor, which I love. All of those things I just enumerated, I love. And it's like, it was just cut together in a way where it was fast-paced, it was fun, it was humorous. It had the serious moments. It had this superhero proving moments because this really was kind of like it was an origin story without it having to be an origin story, if that makes any sense.
That was nice how they transitioned that too. Yeah, because it didn't give you the whole radioactive spider on a field trip.
Exactly. They talk about it, but it's like you already know the backstory. They used him as like they gave him and Black Panther their introduction in Civil War. You already know the origin. You don't need it. It's not there. We know where Spider-Man comes from. And it just goes, and it's fun. It's just like funnest I've had in theater in a long time, probably since Guardians. So
Guardians was good.
It was dope.
What did you think? What did you think about Aunt May? Thought it was.
The movie as the film goes,
No,
or
no, yeah. I mean, the new Aunt May. Usually Aunt May's older, so they went with the younger Aunt May. I thought that worked okay.
oh, I'm sorry, Aunt May. I thought you said
Yeah.
Aunt Man. I'm sorry, I'm
No, Aunt May. Yeah, I thought it worked.
Aunt May. Okay, Aunt May, Marissa Tomei as Aunt May works really well for this. Her moments with Peter, they felt genuine, right? They'd have that, you feel that like maternal bond, you know, that familial bond between them. And like the scenes where they're there, they're funny, but you can tell that Aunt May's like, I guess, keeping tabs on Peter shows signs that she's still in duress from losing Uncle Ben.
Right.
I feel like that one still, they even referenced that in a couple plays. I can't remember exactly when, but you know that she's just as dependent on Peter as he is her, right? And him going out there and doing all this crazy stuff. That moment, man, that iconic moment. There were so many good callbacks to the comics in this movie. I can't even pick.
They did have a lot.
When he's stuck underneath the beam, when Vulture pulls down the
sad.
pillar on him, that was from one of the comics. I can't remember which issue, but like
even
him.
the picture when he showed his face in the puddle, he had half the mask.
Half the mask. That was that scene. You see a superhero who is he's a hero, but he's also a kid. Like when he gets scared and he starts to panic, that scene gets you choked up because I'm like, oh man, that's right. At the end of the day, he's just a kid from New York.
Yep.
He's just a Brooklyn kid, and he's like in all this crap fighting a grown ass man who's been at the supervillain game for the better part of a decade. I love the fact that he was just completely by that point when he shows up and he has like the Vulture outfit. He's been in the game for 10 years riding around on this thing. He's skilled. He's experienced, and he freaking. I don't think really you can say that Peter beat him in this fight. Just Vulture got caught up in his own stupidity in that third act rule of you have to destroy yourself by the time that this fight ends to wrap this movie. Yeah. So it was great, dude. So many good moments in this. So many great moments in this movie.
I was gonna say something else, and it just slipped my mind.
I was also gonna ask if you guys caught it. Childish Gambino, Donald Glover's character.
Yeah,
Prowler, as I remembered, the minute that he said it, it's like you see the scene where he's talking to Peter, he's interrogating him, right? And he's like, nah, man, I was like trying to buy that off those guys. Like, there's too much heat out here in the streets, and I have a nephew who lives out here, right?
Morales.
One guess as to who the nephew he's talking about is.
Yeah, the next Spider-Man, that little kid Morales.
Miles Morales. I'm like, which means that he's there. So,
no,
that was
you
dope.
think that was too early, though, to say?
No.
No?
I was actually expecting him to be in the post-credit scene. Not the first one, not the mid-credit scene, but the last one. I thought we were gonna
you don't think that's going to mess up the timeline, though? Because didn't that happen when Peter was older with Miles Morales?
No, dude, he was a Peter Parker in the run that Miles Morales shows up. Peter's still a teenager, and he dies.
Actually, I thought that was older.
He does, yeah. He's Spider-Man for, I want to say, I might be off with the amount of time, but he's not Spider-Man for terribly long, and then he dies. Miles Morales takes over in that iteration.
That's like the Ultimate Universe, though, right?
That's the Ultimate Universe. And again, just because Miles Morales exists in the MCU doesn't mean that he will be Spider-Man necessarily, even though we'd like to see that. But Infinity War, man, we might see like some multi-universe, some multiverse stuff where we actually see Miles Morales as Spider-Man. That could be dope. They won't do it, but that'd be dope.
The rumor is that they're going to do it now.
They're going to bring Miles. Well, Miles Morales is getting an animated series, but I don't know if they're trying to work him into the MCU.
Remember, look at, even though it's totally different, look at the DC universe. They built up Wonder Woman for like the last several years just to get people used to it, just get used to the taste, and then boom, all of a sudden. So I think that's what they're doing. I think the animation's just going to be a tester.
Well, they use those as testers. It's the same thing that they did with Vixen on Arrow. She came first. She didn't have the best introduction, but they tested her out with the animated series, a little 4 or 5 episode thing that they made for her. So they might be doing the same thing. I think that's just them giving it out there for the fans just to see what happens.
Also, I think it was kind of cool that Glover was in it because way before this, they decided to do this movie, and they had all this rumors about another version of Spider-Man. They kept saying that he was going to be Spider-Man. He was going to be Miles Morales.
Yeah, he was petitioning that. He would like to be a black Spider-Man.
And that was cool that at least they put him in the movie.
And I believe, I could be mistaken, but I do believe that was even before Miles Morales became a character. It was either before or right around the time, but yeah, he had petitioned to be Spider-Man years ago, and I find it funny that he finds himself in this movie as the uncle of the Black Spider-Man that he kind of sort of was based off of.
Well, they're definitely going to bring the they're definitely going to bring the Prowler in now. I mean, they would have to do it.
He could become another character.
Yeah,
Did you catch the Shocker in that one?
Shocker was in there.
Shocker was in there.
Scorpion was in there.
Scorpion was in there, and the only reason I caught that, Charles, is because of the tattoo.
That tattoo on his neck.
And in the mid-credit scene, when he walks in, we're just like, oh, he's got that. I'm like, that's because that's old boy.
Yeah,
that's right. So that one was dope. Anything else that we got? MJ was dope. Finding out that I'm sorry.
So overall, would you tell people no, they have to see this?
Absolutely, you gotta go see it, man. This is like Spider-Man for our generation. Like here we go. I talk a lot of crap about the Sam Raimi versions because I feel one of them was terrible, one was great, and one I feel it's all right, but it's kind of rotting with age. The first one, and that was the early 2000s generation, like the 90s kids. That was our Spider-Man, where you had like the characters look significantly older. This one was the, hyped on sugar cereal. I'm twittering. This is trending. A hashtag totes adorbs Bay generation, and it was fun. It was everything that I liked about pretty much everything I liked about the millennial generation without the, excess crap that typically gets attributed to our generation, if that makes any sense.
And we finally saw just not a 20-something odd actor being thrown into high school playing a Peter Parker that was playing an adult playing a kid, if that makes any sense.
Is this McGuire you're talking about?
I was trying without shots fired, but we finally get to see someone that looks close to the comic book.
The kids look like they're supposed to be there. Like,
definitely. He's 21 years old in real life.
He's in his 20s. He's still a young kid, and he has the baby face. But it's like one thing that I really do think makes him stand out from the other actors so far. Tobey Maguire, I didn't like. Andrew Garfield, I feel, has a bad rep. Tom Holland, you can tell the kid enjoys being there. Like, it's every single one. Every kid has dreamed about being Spider-Man at one point in their lives. He's living it. There's that one picture, Seven. I don't know if you could bring it up, where it's him on the set, and he's taking the selfie, and you see the crew behind him. Like, that's not just
carried over, and it carried over into the movie.
Oh yeah, totally.
You know what I mean? It's not
playing this guy.
It's not arrogance. It's you can see, he's happy to be there, which is good.
Yeah,
Hope it stays that way too.
Yeah, totally, man. So that, I feel it definitely shows in his performance. It shows him doing Spider-Man. I bet they had to tell him so many times, kids, sit your ass down. You're not doing this stunt. We don't care that you do parkour and do little cute flips on Instagram. Sit over there and let the stunt people take care. I know that happened at some point. I can feel it. But the kid's having a blast, and it definitely showed in his performance. And the cast, like you said, Charles, I can't stress enough how awesome the cast was.
The original, I like the music, the Spider-Man music at the beginning.
That was a good callback. So many good ones in this one, man.
Cool. And he said that in interviews, too. He said that in interviews, too, that this was a dream come true. I mean, even when he does interviews, anytime they break away or do anything behind the scenes, you see the joy that he has in doing everything.
Oh, yeah, he's hyped to be in this, dude.
That's good. You don't see that in Hollywood a lot today. No.
Just genuine excitement.
Yeah, you don't see that.
So, all right, Charles, you're my other Spider-Man lore aficionado in the group. So, I wanted to ask you this, if I caught this Easter egg or if I'm tripping. So when Peter walks in, there's a scene when he's going to school, him and Ned. Did you notice the girl with the white hair that was walking in behind him? She's like a background character at best, but she shows up 2 or 3 times in the movie. I'm like, Felicia Hardy? Is that Felicia Hardy?
It could be. It could be.
She had the teal, kind of almost silvery hair, and I'm just
I noticed it. I noticed it.
Right. Awesome.
Take
that.
Not
to leave you out, Seven. Come on, man. I'm not that type of guy.
Shout out to Black Cat. But
Black Cat.
They had. I'm getting some feedback here, but overall, like I said, man, I was happy. It's just the darn tech, that effing suit was driving me nuts, man. I was just like, you don't need all that.
It was
So
overkill.
did you guys?
It was overkill.
So
Yeah,
no,
that was just.
I think the point of it was overkill, so you could show what excess was, and the fact that he had to. You can't start off as being broken. I used the Naruto analogy at the beginning because his character is the same as Peter Parker, and that he's got next to no experience.
There's one already
He has
open.
great potential, but there's all this other stuff out there that can be like a distraction when it comes to developing techniques. So that's
Right.
kind of a parallel that I make between them. You have 500 settings when the kid's still learning how to shoot properly.
You know,
Why would
another
you
thing
think?
he had said, like they had making different references to the comic books and stuff. And that ending scene when he got that suit, that was like what happened in Civil War. Remember?
Yeah.
He came, they had the press conference, and he comes out and he tells everyone,
That
hey,
was I thought that's what they were gonna do. A part
I
of me
was
"Are you
like,
gonna
no,
do the
I'm
Civil
saying,
War
I'm
thing at the
shaking
end
my
of
head.
this one?"
I'm like, no, please, no.
Like,
You already
yeah,
got.
I'm just like, that would be a awful thing. Why would you out this kid like that? That's messed up. So,
Yeah.
but they didn't do it.
Yeah, I'm so happy they didn't
You
do that.
wouldn't dare. So,
I'm like,
Oh.
so I'm saying under my breath, don't take the suit. Don't take the suit. Don't take
don't
the
take.
suit.
Yeah, it felt too much like he was being tempted. And I'm like, what is Tony's angle? I'm like, are you just trying to buy this kid silence because you know you screwed up because it was all your fault? Or is this something else that you're hinting to? Are they really going to go Civil War with this one? I was
Like,
racking my brain on that part.
No, don't do that.
Yeah, man.
Now I gotta catch up on the actual Civil War comic books. Like,
Do it. There's a bunch of in between tie-ins that really bring, in my personal opinion, next to nothing. It's just fluff,
mhm.
but it's fun for like a first time read. They're all right. So I know we're about to get out of here. Are you guys down for an overtime today? Because we haven't even talked about Castlevania. Like
Castlevania for real?
the Netflix show that came out Friday.
Oh, okay, I'm thinking something else.
Easiest show. I mean, I call it just like an animated film broken up into 4 parts, but it's a Netflix animated series. It came out this weekend. Adi Shankar and another fellow whose name I can't recall for the life of me.
Is it based on a video game? That Castlevania for real?
Yep. And it has all the dope. Yeah, again with the callbacks, man. The in-game references, like all the
Is it
shout outs to
good?
the original
Is that
series were
good?
there.
It's good.
Oh, it was dope. It was dope. 9 out of 10.
Because a lot of times when they base stuff off video games, they're like, not again. Wow. I'm a
was rad,
Castlevania fan, man. I used to play
Finish
all
it,
the
yeah.
games.
You can totally finish it in a setting. It's 4 episodes. Each one's like
I'll
between
watch
20 and
that.
30 minutes a pop. Finish it. Do yourself a favor because it was dope. The animation, the voice
Okay.
acting, everything was just on point. So good. I only regret that it wasn't longer. That could have been 6 or 8 episodes, I feel.
And one last thing for Spider-Man, they don't need to rush into Sinister Six. I think they need to they shouldn't rush into it too fast.
I think they kind of did the Sinister Six with this first movie, which I thought was trippy. The Tinkerer, that was Mason.
Yeah, the
right?
Tinkerer was definitely in the dude that's
Shocker.
making the weapons.
Yeah. So they were there, low key. But
They need
anyway,
the
Seven's
suits
giving me
and
the
stuff,
signal, so we'll cut this one. Show us out.
All right, thank you, Charles.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Drew. And I'm 7. You're watching ECLECTICKA. See you next time.